Let's try that again. There was a screaming neighbor, and I wasn't sure if they're at my door or not. So I paused and I went out there, and I'm starting again. Nothing great is accomplished without a long obedience in the same direction. That's a quote from Bono. And then Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control." Galatians 5:22. I'm going to give some basic human examples of long obedience. What that is you've made a commitment to accomplish something that's hard. Something that can't be accomplished in a day or a week, sometimes not even in a year. And what that means, you've committed to make the same boring decision over and over until you arrive at a goal. I say boring because you will be tempted by things that are actually more fun, more interesting. And specifically, we're going to talk about a long obedience in the Old Testament, where a man not only has to pursue a long obedience over many years, but he has to answer the same questions that become ridiculously irritating with time. There's three concepts that are brand new that have been given to him. That when he explains to people what he's doing, he uses these terms, and people say, "What are those things?" And he has to answer those questions for decades. Specifically, what's a blueprint? What's a boat? What's a flood? As a human being, you will need to undertake a long obedience to achieve significant sustained weight loss. It is a series of tiny decisions that add up to a great outcome. Choosing to get up when you want to sleep, choosing to exercise when you want to rest, choosing to eat cautiously when you want to eat immoderately. It's not one choice, it's thousands of choices. I'll give you another example right here. In our society, women are expected to have nice hair. Men are not expected to have nice hair. So if a man decides he's going to have long hair of any kind, it's going to take a lot of effort. If I don't take care of this, it will be disgusting. Now, what that means is that every single day I look at it and say, is it still worth the work to wash it, to brush it, to condition it, to take good care of it, or do I cut it off? And the same would go for any man who has long hair or colored hair in his head, is that women are expected to have hair that's taken care of. Men are not. You've actually got to put effort into making it decent, or because society doesn't expect it of you. So you've got weight loss, and you've got hair. Noah was commissioned to a long obedience. When you are pursuing a long obedience, you want to lose something, you want to forget something. You want to lose weight, you want to forget a bad experience, you want to gain prestige or muscle, you want to accomplish a goal, a promotion, or money. So it won't be one choice, it'll be a million tiny choices. Noah was commissioned to a long obedience. God wanted to use the flood to destroy man, but Noah found grace. And the gift of grace was a long obedience instead of a short destruction. We're looking at a 100-year period from the birth of Noah's children to the beginning of the flood, where everyone else is enjoying their sin. They don't know it's coming. Well, they know it's coming, but they don't believe it's coming because they don't know what's a blueprint, what's a boat, what's a flood. Because no one knew. Noah knew by faith that a blueprint was a thing, that a boat was a thing, that a flood was a thing. He didn't really know them until he saw them. A blueprint for the world's first boat to escape the world's first flood. 100 years of forestry, carpentry, waterproofing, window making, door hanging, and answering the same three questions over and over again. What's a blueprint? What's a boat? What's a flood? The result of Noah's long obedience was this: God saved Noah and his family. A covenant with God for Noah, his wife, his sons, and his sons' wives. Noah got up every day minus Sabbaths for a century to shape wood and answer impossible questions. How do you describe the first anything for the first time? I remember first time someone told me about sushi. I couldn't imagine what they meant. When I had it, I understood what it meant and I loved it, but it's virtually impossible to explain it until you've experienced it. Same with bubble tea. The sons of Noah were young and grew up during their father's long obedience. What was your dad's job when you were little? Can you remember? Did you want to do what your dad did? Did it kind of form your impression of who your father was? There's a thing called a 212 window. At the age of 2 or thereabouts, a human being begins to comprehend what's being said to them. You as a parent, you're looking for signs of understanding. It could come early, it could come late. But at that point, there's a possibility of communicating things that are understood. And then around the age of 12, the human being wants independence and wants to begin identifying their own identity. So there's a 212 window where you've got a person whose preference is to listen to their parents, and you have an opportunity to put values into them. I believe his sons believed in the blueprint. They believed in the boat. They believed in the flood because Dad said so. Noah's neighbors did not believe in the blueprint, the boat, and the flood. What is your long obedience? Are you waiting on a promise from God? Does it seem like you've been waiting for a lifetime? Noah gave 100 years without vacations or promotions. Which is worse, hard labor in middle age or annoying questions for 100 years? I don't know. Be the Noah of your lineage. Commit to a long obedience of a million small decisions for what you seek from God. To lose a regret, kill a sin, gain a blessing, or please God. For you, for your spouse, for your children, be the Noah of your era.